Would you destroy a city for honor? These brothers did. Here's what happened in Shechem. It began when Jacob and his family camped near a city called Shechem. Dina, Jacob's daughter, went out to see the women of the land. Perhaps she was curious. Perhaps she wanted to make connections. But that was the moment her nightmare began. Shechem, the son of Hamor, the city's ruler, saw her. He seized her, humiliated her, and violated her. And yet afterward, Shechem spoke softly to Dina. He wanted her as his wife. He pleaded with his father, Hamor, and together they went to Jacob and his sons to ask for her hand in marriage. Jacob said nothing at first, but his sons, Simeon and Levi, burned with silent fury. Hamor and Shechem offered a tempting deal. Let us intermarry, you will live among us, trade with us, and prosper. Name your price for the bride, and we will pay it no matter how high. Simeon and Levi exchanged a glance and spoke with smiles that hid their hatred. We could agree, they said, but only on one condition. Every man in your city must be circumcised. Only then can we give you our sister. Shechem, desperate for Dina, quickly agreed. Shechem and Hamor convinced the men of the city. It will bring us wealth and unity, they promised, and every man in Shechem underwent the painful procedure. 3 days later, when the pain was at its peak and the men of Shechem could barely stand, Simeon and Levi struck. They entered the city with swords in hand, their faces cold with resolve. They killed every man they encountered. Not a single one escaped their blades. Hamor fell. Shechem, who had violated their sister, died at their hands. Simeon and Levi looted the city, taking the women, the children, the livestock, and all the valuables. When Jacob learned of the massacre, he was furious. You have brought disaster upon me, he said to Simeon and Levi. The people of this land will unite against us, and we will be destroyed. But Simeon and Levi were unmoved. Should our sister be treated like a harlot? The story didn't end in Shechem. Years later, as Jacob lay on his deathbed, the memory of that day still haunted him. He rebuked Simeon and Levi for their cruelty, cursing their violent anger. And Dinah, her voice was never heard. Her story faded into silence. Did Simeon and Levi avenge their sister's honor, or did they simply drench their hands in blood? What's clear is that on that day in Shechem, vengeance ruled. Want more stories? Write yes in the comments below.